Hello friends, welcome to my channel Unjust Indian. To watch all the videos in my channel, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell button. The year is 2011. When we go back in history, that was the year that rocked the Indian political history and which shaped the things that has been happening for the past 15 years. The Congress, or the UPA as they used to call it, was entrenched in power for 7 years, and its minister Chidambaram boasted that at least for the next 10 years, Congress will be in power. Now this particular year 2011 changed that and led to the downfall of the UPA government. What really happened in 2011? The protests led by Anna Hazare. This man, Anna Hazare, who calls himself as a Gandhian, led a huge protest against the then UPA government, demanding the implementation of the Jan Lokpal and also simultaneously protesting against the vehement corruption that was prevalent during the UPA government. That was what he said. Especially the 2G spectrum and the Commonwealth Games scandal. Now, who was this Anna Hazare? It was widely speculated at that time, and not without merit, that Anna Hazare was backed by RSS and the BJP. Anna Hazare, as we all know, is himself from Maharashtra, the bastion or the region of RSS, and RSS itself is headquartered in Nagpur. Now, this Anna Hazare, with the backing of civil rights activists, led the protests, which was the starting point for the downfall of the UPA government. Now, how did this protest succeed? This protest succeeded, although many people may not acknowledge it, that because people took part in large numbers. And how did people take part in such large numbers? The reason is that BJP and its political wings, with all their might, they propped up Anna Hazare, and Jantar Mantar became the epicenter of the earthquake that shook the UPA government, and the government fell 3 years later. Although Anna Hazare was the center of the protests, it was managed by so many people, Arvind Kejriwal, who then formed the AAP party, but the BJP saw to it that it used this opportunity to the hilt and bring down the UPA government or the Congress government at the center. If one were to ask a simple question, what was the culmination, what was the starting point for the fall of the UPA 2 in 2019 to 2014 government, then this was the point from which the UPA government never really looked up and was always going down the hill from this protest. Whether you acknowledge it or not, for any protest to succeed, it needs a political backing. The one protest which, in my opinion, was completely apolitical and also succeeded was the Jallikattu protest in Tamil Nadu, which drew lakhs and lakhs of people. But even in that protest, the government at that time turned a blind eye and allowed the protest to swell. And it was based on that indifference of the ADMK government at that point of time, the protest became big. And in a single night, they charged the protesters and they arrested the protesters, and the protest was gone in a single night. So for any protest to grow and reach a stage, it needs political backing. And Anna Hazare had that political backing from BJP, RSS and its wing. Now, a same movement is happening at the very same Jantar Mantar, the Cockroach Party meeting, demanding the resignation of Narendra Pradhan. Any wise political party will definitely back such protests because it will bring pressure on the ruling NDA government or the BJP government, and will also have the chance to propel Congress to the power in the 2020 elections. But did Congress take the center stage, or did Congress back this protest? The answer is an emphatic no. Then you may ask me how I say it's an emphatic no. The reason is very simple. Only 1,500 or 2,000 protesters took part in that Jantar Mantar protest. And it was not, I would say, a resounding success. It was not also a colossal failure. But what happened was, they said that next Saturday we will once again meet to demand make the very same demand of resignation of Narendra Pradhan. Now, what Congress ought to have or would have done in a normal situation, they would have used this opportunity backed this protest to the hilt and made sure of sleepless nights to the NDA government. But did they do so? They did it. Then any prudent man would ask, why didn't the Congress do so? So that is the big question. Now, I have always been a proponent who says that in many issues, BJP and Congress are hand in glove, and the intention of the Congress, also with the BJP, intention of the Congress is not to bring the justice or the truth out. The intention is just to gain political mileage. So there is no bona fide intention on the part of Congress, and Congress and BJP are two sides of the same coin. And India needs another complete new coin for a good governance. This is, I hold to this view right from the start. Now, why didn't they support this movement? Why didn't they back it with all their might like BJP did in the 2011 protests? The reason is simple. In this protest, unlike the 2011 protests, the youngsters, the Gen Z are questioning the very political system of which BJP and the Congress are the bedrock. Now, among them, there's a tacit understanding that these people are questioning the very basis of our existence. Now, if we support them, tomorrow, both of us may not have no existence. Therefore, they come hand in glove with each other in a bonhomie. They decide not to support the CJP. So, this meeting was not a resounding success because it had no political backing. And once a meeting does not have a political backing, usually it fades away. But let us see what happens next Saturday. Now, I always tell people that the opposition of Congress to the BJP is not bona fide or it's not ideological or anything. Congress is an opportunistic party. It doesn't have any ideology. It will bark up any tree that suits it. A party with no ideology, and BJP at least is a Savarna party with a Hindutva ideology. Congress is a Savarna party with no ideology at all. And whenever it suits it, it will say that it supports the backward classes. Whenever it suits it, it will say it supports scheduled class. And whenever it suits it, it will say it supports the Savarnas. But it has no ideology whatsoever of its own. There are so many things which are happening in this country. The CAA, Shah, the Specific Intention Revision, Article 370. There are so many things that have happened in the past 12 years. What you would have done? It was like presenting a cake on a plate to the Congress. Did the Congress eat it up? No. What the Congress did? It made sure that none of the opposition parties were in a position to oppose the BJP because it takes up the opposition space and then doesn't oppose BJP. You should know that there's a difference. For any move, there's an opposition space. Anybody can move into that opposition space only when there's a vacancy in that opposition space. What Congress conveniently does is, whenever BJP does a thing, Congress goes in first and occupies the opposition space, saying that I am the primary opposition party in the country. And then it doesn't oppose BJP vehemently. So the other parties which oppose BJP ideologically are not able to enter that space because that space is already occupied by Congress. And they are not able to vehemently oppose the move of the BJP. Now, this understanding of both BJP and the Congress is to somehow completely remove all the regional parties from India. That I have been advocating for long. And there is no ideological barrier that the Congress wants to put before BJP. What the Congress wants to put before BJP is, make sure that you don't destroy me. Let us have an understanding that tomorrow if I come to power, I will not destroy you. Now you are in power. You grab power in as many states and as many places as possible. But make sure that you don't destroy me. Your alternative is me and my alternative is you. Let us destroy all the other parties. So, the question I want to ask everybody who supports Congress is this. Has Congress in any matter opposed BJP vehemently? How can you oppose a party vehemently? It's plain and pretty simple. When you think some injustice is being done to the Indian citizens, like if you say oppose CAA, you oppose work amendment, you oppose so and so, there are so many things that Congress has opposed vehemently. Has Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, taken that to its logical end? He never does that. He rakes up an issue, then leaves it midway, so that the BJP government is not completely put in a position of frustration or in a position of Shame. He rakes up an issue, then leaves it midway. So once he takes up that issue, the space for somebody else to take up that issue is gone. He takes up the issue, speaks for 5 days, then leaves it away. So the other opposition parties like DMK or TMC, they are not able to take up the space because that has already been taken by Congress. He effectively eats into the opposition space and makes sure that the BJP sits comfortable because he will oppose for 10 days or 5 days and then he will leave it. Now how he could have done that? You see, there are so many things, special intensive revision, CAA and all those things I have mentioned. In none of those cases, correct me if I am wrong, Rahul Gandhi approached the Supreme Court or any other court to quash those laws. Did he do that? Other people from Congress may have done that. Other people from other parties may have done that. I am questioning whether Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself has approached the court like Mamata Banerjee did in the special intensive revision in Bengal. Whether Rahul Gandhi did in any of those laws which he opposed, no. He never does that because he never wants, in his heart, he never wants BJP to fail because BJP also doesn't want Congress to fail. What they want is the space should only be given. If I come, you go. If you come, I go. That is the policy behind both Congress and BJP. Now, for an effective democracy, it's high time we get rid of both BJP and the Congress, or at least we have an alternative in which BJP and Congress are forced to govern only with the support of other parties who push them and keep them in their place. Now, it is pretty clear that BJP with 240 MPs, short of majority, is still ruling as a majority party. And tomorrow, if Congress wins 220 or 230 seats, it will still, even though short of majority, it will still rule as a majority party. I will want them in a position where both of them don't have more than 130 or 140 MPs. Now, how could that happen? For that to happen, a third front, a front of regional parties and like-minded parties, even central parties like AAP and BSP, they could come together. All of them should come together and form an effective third front. Because the problem is what Congress says is, if I don't come, there's no opposition. It should not be like that. You should let Congress out and have a huge confederacy of parties which command respect in almost throughout the entirety of India. Then there is no need for Congress to have that occupy that opposition space. You contest all the 543 seats alone as a third front. Then, if you win around 150 or 170 seats, then either Congress or BJP has to form your government with your support, or they have to support you. In that case, both of them will also only be as much a player as you are, and the space for opposition and the space for putting up of the atrocities that BJP and Congress committed will be available to everyone. Therefore, the only option to this is an effective third front. When I say third front, Congress should be left alone, BJP should be left alone. In every state, there are parties who should all come together under an umbrella and then form a third front. If such a party forms a third front and gives an effective alternative to the people, then I'm sure people will choose it, because people are now left between the devil and the deep sea. Either the Congress or the BJP, they have no other option. The Tina, there is no other alternative. That is the position of the people. Give them the alternative and show what you have done in your states. Then your state people will choose you, and then from there you build a consensus government in the center. That is the best thing that could happen. We don't want a very strong central government which steamrolls everybody, pushes down everybody, stamps on their rights. But rather we want a central government which listens to the people and addresses their problems and takes care of their interests and not only of the interests of the corporates. So what this Jantar Mantar protest shows us is that the Congress and the BJP are both sides of the same coin. And as long as both of them alternative change in power, nothing is going to change in Indian politics. And the need of the hour is a third front of regional and other parties who must, in the interest of the country, come together so that the Indian democracy survives. Indian democracy, which is one of the textbook examples of democracy in the world, should survive to the next century, to the next generation. For that, it is a need of the hour that all the regional parties and other parties come together to form the third front. Let's meet again.